discharge tape?
That's another great question.
Hello, folks. It's Patrick Gorman.
Hi, this is Jake Busey.
Hi, this is Bruce Boxleitner.
This is Tom Vera from A Gettysburg Christmas.
Hi, this is Bo Brinkman.
And you're listening to Addressing Gettysburg. I'm glad you're listening. Thank you.
Did you say Abe Lincoln?
Oh my God, I love Bill F.
From the Gettysburg Tour Studio.
Hi, good night, everybody.
Bonfire.
You're listening to Addressing Gettysburg Today.
I love this podcast.
Hello, exactly.
Dan, 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 Butterfield, Butterfield, Butterfield.
Stop! Stop! Stop!
Shut up! Hello, everybody. We are back from a long, cold winter that we did not mean to take off, but electricity issues here at the studio, and for some reason, supply chain issues caused a very long delay, and supposedly we're back. Wait, I hear myself. Why do I hear myself? Is that your phone? At least we know it works. Someone's listening. What's that called? Yeah. So we're back, like I said. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to our show. We're so happy to finally be here and talking again. I didn't realize, Ronnie, how much I missed doing this until 2 months goes by. I think it was like 2 months, wasn't it?
Yeah, I was trying to figure that out.
When was the show where you lied about me for half an hour?
No, that was a while ago.
Nah, that was the last show we had, though.
Was it?
Yeah.
Let me see. I have notes in my little handy-dandy thing from February 16th. Is that possible?
That's possible. Yep, because within that next week, the power blew, and we had to wait 3 weeks for the materials, the components to arrive, and then about another 2 or 3 weeks for Jake to get off his butt and come and fix it. and so now we finally have it all working. Supposedly, I did a show yesterday with Pete Carmichael, and I had the air conditioning on for 15 minutes, and the power went out. So we're yeah, that's why we have the door and the window open. It's a little brighter than normal in here, but you know,
90.
We will sweat for you, ladies and gentlemen. We will sweat for you. But we've been very busy, though.
We have. So.
You and Bethany have started doing your show. That's what she said.
That's true. I think we have 4 episodes recorded now.
Something like that. 3 or 4, I think. Yeah. And but that's going very well. Those shows. You guys seem to be having fun doing them.
I can't speak for Bethany, but I'm loving it. Right.
I'll
Our
speak
guests
for
have been
Bethany.
awesome.
She loves it too.
Yeah.
And you know, I love it because I just get to sit there and I, you know, check emails and, you know, just mindlessly scroll through Instagram and everything. And yeah, I like it.
I've noticed you haven't trusted us on our own yet.
Whenever you guys say you're ready, I'm ready. I'll give you the key and the memory card, and you just come in and do it.
No, it's nice to have you here in case we need to blame somebody.
Yeah. But so far, though, everything has been going great. You guys have been doing really well with it, and
our guests are spectacular.
The guests have been great. You took to it very easily. I remember you guys were all like, "Oh, what if this? What if that? I'm so nervous about this. I'm so nervous about that." And you did fine the first day out.
It's a little intimidating, though.
Why?
It is, because if the guests don't carry it, you know, there's like radio silence, then what do you do?
Yeah. Well,
the topics have been fun. The guests have been awesome.
Right.
Bethany's a hoot. I
Yeah.
mean, she just, you know, anything can be fun with Bethany.
It is true. It is true. Yeah. No, I mean, but the guests have all been great. I mean, a lot of the guests have already been on the show,
Sure.
so we vetted them. We know that there is no dead air with them, you know. And then we had a couple of new ones. Deb McCausland came on.
Yeah,
and
it was fun.
she didn't need to pull any teeth to get her to talk. She was great.
awesome,
Like
yeah.
she had tons of stories to tell.
Yeah,
and
that
she
whole
loves it.
Binder, yeah, right.
A binder full of women.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what she had.
No,
and
all information about one woman, and I'm not going to drop the name.
Oh,
because
no, it's a surprise.
but
Yeah.
yes, she's done decades of research on
Yeah.
this particular story, and it's pretty evident that she has a passion for it. So it's pretty cool.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
And yeah, but other than that, so that's what she said is being recorded. Like I said, we did we had electricity hell for a while, but I was still able to record a bunch of shows. I think Dave told me that we have 70% of the year's shows either recorded and or released. And which is great because once we have 100% of them, then all I have to do is this show. Although I'm not gonna not do that, but we want to start doing videos this summer, and so I need to like free up my time. So I'm just not doing shows and video and everything like that. So we'll still do AG today, and then the history shows. I'll do a little here and there just so that we don't fall behind, But so far everything is going really well. Spent probably $350 on batteries though,
Yeah.
because this recorder here is good when the electricity is plugged into it, but when you go on battery power only, like once or twice in a show I have to change the batteries out.
I know for us,
Yeah.
at least twice. Yeah.
And that's pretty much the way it goes. And so Zoom, that's the manufacturer. Zoom, you gotta, in the next generation of the P8, you gotta make the batteries last a little longer. I mean, that's ridiculous. But anyway, so we did that, and okay. By July, we should be in the new studio.
Oh, cool.
Supposedly, the current tenants at the new studio will be out either May 1st or June 1st. So I'm just going to assume June 1st because, everybody takes their sweet time with everything. And I don't know who the tenants are, and they may be very punctual, but I doubt it. And so...
I believe in getting my money's worth, so I can't really blame them.
Yeah, exactly, right. And right, exactly. And so once they're out, then we will go over there and start renovating and setting it up.
Is there air conditioning in that building?
There is central
Wow.
central air conditioning. Yes.
All right, I'm hoping for May 1st then.
Reliable electricity, high-speed internet. I mean, we're going to be finally real.
Look out, world.
Yeah, exactly. And the beauty of it is we're going to have a studio room, a production room, and then a video room. And I'm going to share that with J.D. Hewitt from the History Underground. Yep. And so when he comes and does videos with Eric or for Eric, he's got a place to do stuff. And if we ever wanted to do some, I mean, you know, and it's not like videos to perform in front of. It's like, you know, he'll have it set up so he can get artifacts and everything like that. But yeah, that's going to be, so we're going to have a little window between the production booth and the studio.
Wow.
And the idea of that is when we have first of all, the rooms themselves are small. So like the studio room is actually smaller than this room. And this is, 12 by 14. And it's pretty tight in here, especially when you have the peanut gallery in. Yeah. And I was like, we're never going to have room for people to be sitting in there while we're actually doing a show. So we've got this production room that we have, and we'll have Colby or whoever's at the computer looking at us through the window. And then whoever wants to come and watch the show can watch it in there. We'll have some monitors in there so they could hear what we're saying. And yeah,
the room like the green, like where you separate the green M&Ms and you know like that kind of stuff. Like it's like the green
that's
room
the dressing room.
Oh, is that the
yeah, that is my personal dressing room. Will have all of that stuff.
okay.
Yeah, and hot towels and all that. And masseuse.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, it's going to be really nice. But anyway, so by July we'll start doing shows out of that. Or that's my goal at least, is to have everything ready by July. What?
No.
Oh, it looks like you have ready to read a comment.
No.
All right, very good.
There's a ton. There's no way I can keep up with these.
Really?
It's nice to see everybody, though.
Oh, good. I'm glad everybody's in there.
Familiar names.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So we did our Adams County Historical Society show on March 18th while you were watching Bruce Springsteen.
Some of us did the historical show. Yeah.
Yeah, some of us did. And I'll tell you, your presence was missed.
Oh, well, I missed you guys.
Yes.
I really did.
I'm sure you did.
Jealous
I'm
watching
sure
it.
you did.
I
yeah.
did.
Oh,
I did.
yeah. You're watching Everybody's Got a Hungry Heart, and you're like, oh, oh, it's so great. I'm seeing my hero, Bruce Springsteen. Oh, but I missed those guys. Please, you didn't even think about us once.
No, I did.
Oh, whatever.
Well, I mean, maybe not during the concert. But when I watched the video that you gave to me after that night,
you wish you were there.
yeah, of course.
Well, it was a lot of fun. Community media, which is basically, if you remember cable access, I haven't had cable in 20 years, so I remember cable access, but I don't even know if it is a thing still.
Yeah.
I believe around here it's channel 12, I want to say. Community
The concept of like PCN, like statewide is PCN, right? Isn't that kind
Still
of
like PCN, I guess, is kind of like cable. Well, it's not cable access. That's more like public broad. Like that's, I think, more like public broadcasting.
cable
But it's like
network or
it's like the state's PBS instead of
something,
federal
yeah.
PBS. Yeah.
Anyway.
But so they came out and did that. That's why it's a 3-camera shoot and it looks all professional and everything. We like to trick people into thinking we're professional. And they did a really good job with that. And that got me talking to them about doing some other things together. And when we get to the news segment, I'll let you know what that entails there.
Here we go.
What?
2 months off, and he's going to be interrupting my segment. It's just like it's unbelievable. Nothing changes.
No. Before we get to your segment, I'll do it.
Okay, all right, good.
Or maybe I'll do it in
Do
the
it in your
second
own damn
segment. Yeah, I'll
segment
do it
is
in the
what I'm trying
second
to tell
segment.
you, right?
Okay,
Okay.
all right. After the break, we'll get to what we're doing with CBS, not CBS, community media. But anyway, we had 120 people there.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Andrew and the museum were very happy with everything. The audience seemed to really like it. It was a mixed audience. It was like our people and it was the museum people. Yeah. And you could definitely tell the difference. Like when I looked out at the crowd, because it's, people naturally segregate themselves, right? You go with who you know, right?
Sure, yeah.
So, on one side of the room, you had people in blue blazers with brass buttons and everything. And then the other side of the room is kind of like well, it was just everybody, in different states. Some people had jackets, some people were just casually dressed and everything like that. And we were a little more rambunctious, a lot of laughter, a lot of, hugging and hello, happy to see each other.
Yeah, probably got the inside jokes and stuff, like the references. Everybody else was like, what is that? Who is that? What's going on?
Yeah.
Yeah, right, yeah.
I'm sorry, say that again, Cole.
I said the other side of the line was probably jealous. They probably wanted hugs as well.
Yeah, they were like, we want
out.
to be a part of this community here.
Who's the guy got to pay to get a hug around here?
Yeah, right. But it was a lot of fun though. But I really goofed. I you know how I do the celebrity introductions at these shows in the beginning, right?
Yeah.
And I'm all concerned about like who amongst our regular crew is here. And so I went down the roster of people who had bought tickets and they marked off who was already checked in. And it was like, it wasn't close to showtime, but it was close to sequester mat time.
Okay.
So I had to go through and Jeff Shara hadn't checked in yet. And I was like, oh, I hope he comes. I go, well, if he comes, I'll, whatever. And so I see him walking in just before the show starts and see how like I have
illegible writing,
Should
right?
have been a doctor, bro. Get this man a lab coat. He's in the wrong profession.
So I got this illegible writing, but I skip a line so that things don't get jumbled, right? But then I saw Jeff and I ran out of room, so I just put him in between two things, not his own bullet point, and I put it at the top of the list, and I totally missed him.
You should
Totally missed
soundbite
it.
top of the list.
Top of the list. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think it'd be a good one.
All right, that's a good one. I'll
Sorry
mark
to
that.
interrupt.
No, I marked it.
I'm just trying to back up Veronica over there, man. She's gonna get interrupted later. I was just trying to get her jabs in for her as early as possible.
You're so kind.
Colby.
Thank you.
Got
That's
you.
wonderful.
Got you.
So anyway, I didn't get it in the first one. And then during the break, Dave Johnson was running around taking pictures, and he comes up to me. He's like, yo, you announce everybody, but you forget Jeff Shara? And I'm like, oh, my God. And I was so embarrassed, right, And I know, like, Jeff is a member of the museum and stuff, and he's been on the show twice by that point. But I'm pretty sure that he heard about it through the museum's emails, and he did it to support the museum, But it still was cool that he was there,
Yeah, for sure.
And so, of course, at the top of the next segment, I made sure that I introduced him at that point, and And he, at the end, I said, I went up, I saw them leaving, and people had come up to me at the end. And so I got all these people I'm talking to, and I like see him and his wife leaving in the back of the room. And I go, yeah, hold on a second. And I like push people out of the way, and I go, run. I go, Jeff. He goes, yeah. And I said, I am so sorry. I'm so embarrassed. I did not mean to forget you. It's just, and he goes, oh, it doesn't matter. He goes, this was great. He
doesn't strike me as the kind of person that would be like,
no, but
yeah.
Still,
And
I'm not the kind of person like that, but in the back of my head, I'm like, what the hell?
Often fall on your sword either, and that was a very right after the break. You were very.
I was embarrassed.
Well, you were very candid with your embarrassment, and you acknowledged the misstep. Very.
What do you mean I don't fall on my sword often? My gut is full of holes.
You don't. You're never wrong.
That's a good point. Yeah, those are other people's swords. No,
Speaking of other people that don't think you're wrong. How's our boy Cam?
What a segue.
Yeah.
Right now.
Well, Cameron was mad at me. I just took a walk with him today, this morning on the first day's battlefield, and it was nice. But he was mad at me. And I there were a couple of issues at play there. One of them was, here's what happened. I was doing one of my driving around the battlefield videos, and somebody had asked me something about ideas for shows. And so I said, well, I always take ideas for shows, and I really haven't heard any bad ones. And I said, but if you've given me an idea for a show, what, was there a bad one?
No.
Oh, okay. Did you have a bad one?
I was bracing for the end of the story.
Oh. So
I was trying to get my Snickers out of the way.
Okay.
Thank you.
So I'm like, I haven't really heard any bad ones. And I said, so if you've given me an idea for a show and it hasn't happened yet, you just have to understand that I need to find somebody who can speak on it. And sometimes that takes a while, but I put the word out, and people, I ask guides, do you know anybody who does this and whatever. So Cam said you should do a show about West Virginia.
Oh, okay.
And I said, I'd love to do a show about West Virginia. It's just the guides that we work with so far, no one can speak on it. They're not expert enough on the subject. And then I said, as far as I know, the guys we work with, nobody cares about West Virginia. And that.
Whoa.
Those are fighting words, man.
Yeah.
And we talked about it yesterday. I went to his house yesterday. And we talked about it, and I thought he was mad because he said, I'll do it.
Yeah.
And I said, well, you can do it, but I have to have you on with a guide, ranger, author, published author, or professor who is an expert on the subject, unless you had one of those bona fides, And I said, I have a rule for my show. I want the audience to feel that they can take 95% of what they hear on the show to the bank, right? Yeah. And that's why I don't present the history, because first of all, I couldn't keep up the schedule, like learning something for a new show. So I got to talk to experts, right? So then he says, what did he say? Not enough of this, or something like that. It wasn't enough of this. It was like, well, forget this, I think. Yeah. Forget this.
Wow.
And then a few minutes later, I end the video, and he sends me a text, and he's like, I ain't coming on your show again. You just use me for comedic purposes, and blah, 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 blah.
Oh, no.
And so I called him.
Yeah.
And I said, because I was driving, and I just saw the first line, and I was like, okay. So I called him. Yeah. And, of course, he didn't answer, because he was peeved.
Yeah.
And
Been there, Cam. Been there.
Preaching to the choir.
Here we go
your
again.
pain, Cam.
If my witnesses are
He is
listening, please call in, because I think we're going to get into this again today.
No, we're not. I can't help myself. I'm just commiserating with the young man. I'm saying he's not on an island by himself.
No. You were you may be the first mate of the ship there, but you are not the captain, and you have a big crew with you. So anyway, I leave a voicemail. Yeah. And I say, listen, you're more than welcome to come on the show, but I have rules for my show, and I can't break them for you. I can't break them for anybody. Like I've got my rules, and I have to live by my rules, because that's what I do. That's my business. And I said, so if you want to come on, let's find a guide who can speak on West Virginia, and you can come on with them. And I just had recorded a show with Lewis and a listener. The listener said, hey, I'm doing a book on, I think it was, I forget which, it was Perrin's Brigade. I forget which regiment it was. But I think he had found an ancestor or something like that. And so he started researching, and he's writing a little book on it. Okay. A little book, I don't mean to say that way, but he's writing a book on it. And he said, I'd love to come on the show. I mean, and I think he even said, I'd love to sit in if you wanted to do an Ask a Guide about it, knowing that I have to have a guide, right? Yeah. So I said, sure. And he came, and we recorded it with Lewis. And it went well, and it'll be out sometime this year. But so I said, it's not like I haven't done this before. I will do it. I'd be happy to do it for you. So then he doesn't answer that. And then when I get home, I text him some more, and I explain again in writing the rules. And he just goes, not good enough. And I was like, wow. Okay.
Man.
So it's like now I'm dealing with like a terrorist here, you know? And I'm not really calling you a terrorist, Cam. Relax. So anyway, we go back and forth for a little bit, and I'm like, listen, you're my friend, and if I hurt your feelings, I want to make right with you, you know? So talk to me here, right? I talked to you about it. And he just didn't say anything. So I'm like, all right, whatever. I don't care. You know, I'm like, all the things I did was good. So finally,
you guys were kind of talking past each other because he was mad about one thing, you thought he was mad about something
correct.
else. Correct. Gotcha.
I thought he was mad because he did mention,
it's a real who's on first situation.
It totally is. He did mention, I'm not coming on the show because you just use me for comedic purposes and you don't take me seriously as a historian. And I'm like,
we use everybody for comedic purposes. There's not a person on here that's like, not fair game.
Yeah, exactly. and so so finally yesterday he texts me and he says, if you want to talk to me, I'm at my house. So I said, all right. So I went over, and let me tell you something. This kid, he's making a model. I forget of what, but it's a fort, and it's huge, right? But it's like, and he made like all these things with toothpicks, and I'm telling you, he's got some talent. Oh, cool. And anyway, so he shows me all this stuff, and then we sit down and we talk. And we had a good talk, and I explained everything. And he goes, honestly, I was just mad because you said nobody cares about West Virginia. And I was like, really? And he said, yeah. He goes, you just ask my father. He'll tell you, don't mess with West Virginia. Cam will turn evil. And I was like, really? And I said, okay, well, I said, but you did mention the comedic purposes thing, and that bothered me more because the West Virginia thing, I mean, I'm from New Jersey. I hate my home state. That's why I left it. So I don't understand that love of a home state, Yeah. So I said, but what bothered me more was that I thought I hurt your feelings with the joking around and everything. And I said, do you remember a year or whenever it was ago when we started doing this? I said to you, and I even think I said it on a show, I said, the minute this hurts your feelings, you tell me and it stops, right? And I said, look, so basically people were getting in his ear, like you thought. Yeah. And they're like, well, he's always, using you as a joke and everything like that. But of course, they only watch it when he's on. Right. And they don't see that when he's not on, you're busting my balls, I'm busting your balls, Colby's busting my balls, we're busting Colby. Everybody's busting balls, right? That's what we do.
Whole lot of ball busting.
A whole lot of ball busting. Because we're friends. Yeah. And we're the type of dysfunctional people that instead of hugging someone, we make fun of them. Right, that's what we do. That's how we show we like you.
I mean, I would put gum in your hair, but that's not, it's like,
yeah.
I don't know. I mean, how else do I show my love?
Right. So we chide each other. We poke at each other with words, right? Yeah. But we mean it in good fun. We don't say anything that really, cuts to the quick.
I mean, because even looking back, like I remember, gosh, I'm bad with timelines, but like very early in the show when we used to do these, and he came on, and the kid John, right, like came
John
on,
Zabawa,
and like played the interpreter, and everybody had fun with it. Like that's
we all had fun with that.
I think Cam even was goofing around like, with the megaphone and with Zabawa.
well, that's the thing though.
Suit and all kinds. I mean, that's just it's a personality, but nobody doesn't. Let me put it this way: I don't think there's a person that comes on this show or that is affiliated with this show that doesn't think Cam is
in on
serious.
the joke.
Well, right, in on the joke. But on the other hand, and on the other track that's running parallel with that, he's a historian. Everybody knows his love of history, like whether it's Civil War or West Virginia. I mean, nobody takes that away from him. It's not mutually exclusive.
Right.
He can be, fun and lighthearted, and at the same time be a serious historian. I mean, that's not.
But
they're not mutually exclusive. I guess is what I'm
he
saying.
said that he didn't have a problem with it until people started saying something to him, and I get that because then it makes you see things in a different light or something like that, and then it gets you all thinking or whatever. So
well, anyway, so you guys made up.
Yeah, we made up, and he was fine. Like, we talked about it, and we spent the first 20 minutes of him showing me all the stuff he has, and I mean, tons of cool stuff in his house, books and. Books, and we all have books, but I felt good because I'm not the only one who ran out of bookshelves and now has to pile books on the floor. Because he does that too. But he's got a lot of cool stuff in there, and I didn't realize this, that he's actually a pretty talented artist. Like he paints and stuff. He's got his paintings. I did not either.
He's never even talked about that.
No, he doesn't talk about that.
Yeah.
But on the point of coming on the show and the historian thing and everything like that, like it just dawned on me, like Pete Carmichael has been on the show and we make fun of him for his scarves.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh my God.
Which he stopped wearing.
Yeah.
But it's not because of us.
Maybe people were telling him
into changing his look.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, right. It's like, hey, he doesn't really take you seriously as a professor.
Dude, I'll tell you what. Now he's up in the gym every week, just getting fit so he can come back and pummel you.
Well, he told me. So he was on last night, and he told me that you and him work out. You're doing the CrossFit together.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of doing it now. It's like a whole group thing.
It is a group thing, but it's a ball kicker.
You got to switch it to both cameras if you want to. Oh, never mind. I'm sorry. Sorry, Colby. I didn't mean to.
Here you go, boss.
I didn't mean. No. I'm not. It doesn't matter. It's not becoming of me. Drinking a bottle of water. I'm the only thing that people are looking at. Anyway, so you guys work out together. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's awesome. He actually yesterday after the workout, he came down to the studio for a little bit and we talked. And King James is in the same. The King James painting.
The coin. The
painting store. We're in the same building as them. Our studio is, and the manager from King James came by the other day, knocked on the door, super sweet lady, and she said that there was this picture that she thought we would like. Someone had dropped it off, years ago and never came back for it, and she was like, "If you guys would like, I'll donate it to your show. You can hang it up, have it in the background." I was like, "We would love that." She said, "It's from Vietnam." I said, "Well, that's perfect. We need a Vietnam map, Yeah. And we go walking back there, dude. She hands us this map. And on the side of the map, because I'm looking at this map, it's big, and they've got specific places circled on it that is really telling. Like this place called Kontum is circled, and Kontum is where like a super Ricky Recon high, tier 1 level kind of organization operated out of. But there wasn't a popular base there at that time. At the time this map would have been printed, but it's circled on the map. And there's a few other places where very high level bases are. Pleiku was circled, and then I look over to the side, the border of this map, and it says, this is the map that was hanging in the U.S. Embassy in Saigon in '68 at the launch of the Tet Offensive.
No kidding.
Wow.
Yeah. Yep.
Did she know that when she gave it to you?
Yeah, I pointed it out to her. I was like, "Did you know this? Did you see this?" And she said, "It's been here for years. The guy hasn't came back for it, so it's yours." And so when Pete came into the studio yesterday, I was showing it to because we were talking about Vietnam at the gym a little bit, and I was showing it to him, and he got all excited about it. He's like, "Oh man, that's so cool!"
Yeah, that's awesome.
But we geeked out about that a little bit. He's a good guy, man. I like him a lot.
That's pretty. Yeah. Oh, Pete.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's great. We had fun last night. We talked about the Confederate reaction. What?
He's all right.
He's all right. We talked about the Confederate reaction to the Battle of Gettysburg through letters that he had, and it was pretty good. But of course, it devolved into me making fun of his scarves and his hair, and he making fun of me for not having hair. And that's what we do. We have fun.
Yeah.
Yes. And so anyway. Cam, I said to him, we're not going to make a character out of him anymore, and so therefore he's not allowed on the show.
I need to know if that's really the stipulation because I had one in the back pocket I've been holding for a minute, and I didn't know if I should let it go or not. Yeah.
I don't know. You have to wait if he ever stops by again.
Is it? It's too soon right now.
It might be too soon.
Okay.
It might be
all right,
too
I'll
soon.
hold it.
Yeah.
Cam, I do that because I like you, man. I don't
Yeah,
I want to pick just because
I think he gets it. I think he understands that it's just that, you know, when people come to you and they're saying stuff, you know, it does give you pause and it does make you think twice about things. And so I understand what, you know, that happens to me all the time. People, you know, that's how the whole podcast war with me and Hessler and Lindblade started, because everybody else came to me, and probably them, and was like, they're hearing things, they're seeing phantoms where there are no phantoms. And then they go and say, hey, you know, Jim and Eric, they really seem to hate you. They're talking about, you know, don't listen to people who do videos on the battlefield. Well, they weren't talking about me, but they didn't want to say who they were talking about.
Yeah.
So they were just being generalized.
Well,
and
they told you anyway, but that's
yes.
fine.
No, they told me who they were talking about and why, and I believe them. But anyway, so whatever.
Yeah.
Cam will be on. So here's the funny thing, right? So the day after he got mad at me and stopped talking to me, two things came across my desk for him. One was Jason Heilman had come and recorded I think it was Things That Make You Go, part 2.
that's a good title.
Yeah. I think it was that, because I don't think we did anything else with him. I don't know. I've recorded so many shows I can't keep track. Anyway, so we're talking after the show in the parking lot. And he goes, have you ever thought of doing a show in West Virginia at Gettysburg? And I looked at him and I was like, did I tell you?
Did he see the live stream? Or
No.
something? Did he see
No,
the...
no, no.
Oh, okay. Okay.
No, and I go, did I tell you? And he goes, tell me what? And I told him the whole story. And he goes, oh, no. He goes, I just thought, you know.
Wow.
And I said, yeah, I would like to do that. And he's like, okay, well, you know, it'll take me a couple months to research and put it together. And I said, fine, it'll probably take a couple months before Cam talks to me again. So you know, I want to let him come on once, you know. Yeah. So that was one. And then the second thing was a listener had contacted me about Cam, you know, getting on the bus. He's bringing his students here and hopping on the bus and going around with them on the battlefield. And I said, well, he's not talking to me right now. And while I would normally want to pass this on to him, I'm going to wait and see if he talks to me again. Because if he doesn't, then I'm not helping him, you know. I'm trying to apologize to the guy, and something's coming across, you know, for him. So anyway,
all is right.
So all is right.
Good.
Okay, and Cam will be on an Ask a Guide once we can get it all together. Probably towards the end of the year is when it will air, and we'll talk about West Virginia at Gettysburg. I told him if he comes to the tour on Saturday, then he can. Well, I'll tell Lewis to stop when we pass the 3rd West Virginia Cavalry Monument, and he can talk a little bit about them if he wanted to. And he said, well, I don't know if I'm going to go because there's a military show at the Eisenhower. And I go after the tour. And he goes, well, I want to get books. And I go, there will be books after the tour. And he goes, yeah, but they're West Virginia. There's like, I had some good regimental histories that I got last year, so I want to see if there's some good West Virginia regimental histories. And I go, they'll be there after the tour, Cam. Nobody cares about West Virginia. And he just goes, oh, very funny.
Funny, yeah.
Yeah. So all is right with
Well, that's
Cam.
good. That's
I had a nice walk with him today, and
He had some exciting news. I think he announced officially...
he's having a baby.
No.
And his first male pregnancy.
Officially, he announced, so I don't feel bad saying this out in the world, but he announced that he accepted a position with Fort McHenry this
Fort
summer.
McHenry,
So,
yes.
Yeah, that's pretty exciting.
That is
stuff.
correct.
He's back with the National Park Service again this summer, and it is close enough.
We can go.
I think we can.
I think we're
Of course
gonna.
we can. I think I am.
Who are
Oh
we
my
talking
gosh,
about?
we should make a documentary about it, like a road trip documentary.
Oh, it'd be
You know
nice.
what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Who are we talking about? Or talking about doing that with? Weren't we talking about?
I thought.
No, I was talking.
I
I'm
was gonna
sorry.
say, I thought Vicky Castle. I thought
maybe.
Victoria and probably Chris would be up for it. along
I
with
was
you.
talking to Paula Belton and her husband. We went and got dinner a few weeks ago, and they apparently live like near there or on the way there or something
neat.
like that.
Okay.
So I said, well, we should all go down and see Cam.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll try to do that. We'll give him a month or two to get settled in.
Yeah.
You know, don't want to bombard him right away.
So a little other.
No pun
connection-
intended,
no-
being that it's Fort McHenry
Fort.
with bombard.
How about that?
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. I'm just gonna let that sink in.
Yeah.
Okay.
You were
So
saying.
anyway, I have a little personal connection. Also, a high school classmate.
I thought you were going to say crush. I thought you were going to say crush.
No,
well, it could have been both.
You stopped me.
Sorry.
No,
High school classmate who I had a crush on.
Yeah. Actually, Bob Bowser, he portrayed over the
Bowser was
weekend-
my favorite guy in Sha Na Na.
Yeah, I don't know that. I mean, I recognize, I know the name and stuff like that, but I have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay.
Yeah. So anyway,
A little before your time.
maybe.
Before
a
my
lot of
time,
stuff.
but I still know what it is.
Anyway, Bob Bowser is a noted historian and educator, but he also volunteers some time down at the Samuel Mudd House. And our buddy Randy Dreas put a group together, a tour this past weekend that I was lucky enough to take part in. And it was following some of the escape route from after Booth assassinated Lincoln, right? So we started actually down at Tudor Hall, which was the Booth, like,
Where
summer
Henry VIII
home or
was,
whatever.
yeah.
Right. And then went to the Surratt Tavern and then went down to the Mudd House. Anyway, Bob accepted his first national park, I guess, summer employment or whatever. There you go, seasonal employment. So I'm excited for him too. And we will have 2 people to go see now down at Fort
very
McHenry.
nice.
Yeah, so I'm excited about that this summer. So definitely going to get down there and see those guys.
Marvelous.
Yeah.
Well, let's see. What we're going to do here now is take a break. We got other things we're going to talk about. We're going to spread it out over the course of the show. We'd love to hear from you guys again. 717-420-1978 is the phone number. Give us a call. Say hello. Let us welcome you back into our crazy, crazy world and all that. Anyway.
Aren't you glad you used Dial? We are too. We'll be right back.
We'll be right back.
Want the freshest cup of coffee in Gettysburg? Then visit Bantam Roasters, formerly 82 Cafe at 82 Steinway Avenue. They roast all of their coffee in-house, and they have a full coffee bar to keep you caffeinated during your trip. Visit them at www.raggededgerc.com for their menu and shipping options for all of their freshly roasted coffee. Use promo code Hancock for 10% off your order in the cafe.
Enjoy historical stories on the History Fix platform. Explore movies, short films, and documentaries. Addressing Gettysburg podcast fans receive an extra $5 off the first year's annual subscription. Sign up at historyfix.com and use promo code Gettysburg. Every subscription includes a 7-day risk-free trial. Escape into history with History Fix.
This episode of Addressing Gettysburg is brought to you in part by me, audiobook narrator Mike Scott. Narrator of Savis Beattie's Bloody Autumn, the Shenandoah Valley Campaign of 1864, and Unlike Anything That Ever Floated, the Monitor and Virginia and the Battle of Hampton Roads. If you are an author or publisher interested in having your titles produced as audiobooks, or even just in learning more about the process, give me a shout. You can find my contact info on my website, MikeScottVoice.com. That's MikeScottVoice.com.
The 1863 civilians of Gettysburg were reluctant witnesses to the Great Battle. Join Ken Rich, the man in the red shirt, for his historic town walking tours. You could book these tours by emailing ken@gettysburgtownhistory.com. That's ken@gettysburgtownhistory.com. And when you're in town, look for the guy in the red shirt. And Civil War Trails. It's the world's largest open-air museum, and they offer over 1,300 sites across 6 states. Drive the Gettysburg campaign turn by turn, paddle to Frederick Douglass's birthplace, or hike to remote earthworks and artillery positions. Visit civilwartrails.org to request a brochure and explore their interactive map. Follow Civil War Trails and create some history of your own.
You're listening to the Addressing Gettysburg podcast with Matt Callery. Want to promote your Gettysburg business? Send an email to sales@addressinggettysburg.com.
That was supposed to take us. That was supposed to take us to break, not come back. But whatever. I'm Rusty. Hi, I'm Rusty. And you are?
I'm confused because I thought that's as I said. It
I'm
was 2
confused.
minutes.
I'm Rusty. No. The break was right.
Oh,
it was.
okay.
I played a "We'll be back" bumper instead of a "We are back" bumper, or a rejoinder, if you will. Colby, what's up with you? Anything new in the America Fog of War world?
A lot, man.
All right, great. And so, no.
Yeah,
just kidding, Colby. I just want you to know I was just busting your balls there.
I listen.
Okay?
I like it. I appreciate it.
Don't talk to him.
Taylor, if you're watching, don't start telling him that we only use him for comedy, okay? All right, go ahead.
It's my good looks, too.
That's what we use you for. That's why you're not on camera.
Right. You got to keep people in suspense. Keep a little mystery there.
Absolutely.
That's how you get more viewers.
That's right.
No, it's going good, man. We've been doing a lot. We have been pumping out a lot of episodes lately. We're like editing them up right now, and
but you've taken a break from releasing, right?
Right. So we are looking at within the next month being back up and having episodes out regularly for the rest of the season.
What's the first one that's going to be dropped, as they say?
So we're kind of in a little bit of a debate on that. We don't know if we're going to lead off with one of the narrative episodes or lead off with a hip pocket episode. But we're leaning towards doing probably starting off with a hip pocket.
Okay.
And, we have a few different ones that we're kind of debating, and they'll all be very very interesting and entertaining, and I'm excited to get them out there. And they have a video piece to them now, so it will
very nice.
You can watch it on YouTube instead of just listening and imagining.
There you go.
You'll be able to see it with your own eyes.
Yeah, you can ruin the illusion, basically,
right.
Or the delusion. I think we have an old friend on the phone there. Is that 6 Questions, Lentz?
Yes, it is.
Hey, Mikey, how you doing?
Well, I've had an interesting day. So, yeah, I'm just kind of recovering from it. But
what happened?
Overall, things are going okay.
Did you?
Oh, yeah.
Can we?
Nothing. I'll fill it in.
Please, yes, no pun intended.
Yeah, no kidding. I've had some irregularities with my digestive system. We won't go into detail. And so the doc basically advised getting colonoscopy. And so I had my colonoscopy today. Hence why I'm not there in the studio, because apparently you can't operate machinery after 24 hours after getting a colonoscopy.
Okay.
Yes, because
Eric just popped in to laugh at you. Go ahead, Mike. Keep talking.
but yeah, no, yeah. So when we were talking about, you were saying have guts and holes. I'm like, don't mention guts and holes to me right now. I'm not all too happy. And so right now the results of colonoscopy will come out in maybe about 2 or 3 days. We'll see what happens, and so hopefully for the best.
But there's no real threat of anything serious, though, right? The doctor's saying early indicators are showing that you're okay with as far as the big casino goes.
Yeah, right now it's looking very good. I think the worst case scenario potentially colitis. So yeah, it's the worst case scenario.
Okay.
Which, because if it's any worse than that, we're talking about cancer. So But we'll see what happens. We'll see what images coming back, what the doc says coming out about that. No, this is not Lentz's medical hour. We're not talking about Lentz's medical hour, even though you probably play the theme song and be pretty appropriate at this moment.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, I didn't do that, did I? Oh well.
And you said, and we bust balls all the time on the show. Absolutely, we do. We bust balls, and then Lentz gets injured.
That's right.
That happens, so.
So, Cam, I'm sorry, Cam, Mike. So my doctor told me that this year I have to go and get one of those things, a colonoscopy.
Yeah.
What do I expect? What should I? Have you ever? You haven't had one, Ronnie, right? You're too young. Go ahead.
The worst part, by far, is the prep. I mean, my gosh. You can't eat for like 24 hours beforehand. And I give you this like special prescription to clear you out. I swear. I saw things I ate like 5 years ago coming out of my colon. Oh, it was happening so often. I'm like, what? Are you cleaning as well as polishing down there? I mean, my goodness. It was insane. I was hungry. I was on the toilet.
It's like an army man came out and...
Crayon.
There's that Indian head nickel I was looking for.
Dried glue.
So, that's the absolute...
Oh, that's so gross.
Oh, Mike.
But okay, and then so
that's the absolute worst. Yeah.
The actual procedure, though,
not bad.
The procedure's not bad because you're knocked out, right?
Yeah, you're knocked out. They knock you straight out.
Yeah.
I mean, you're gone. You're gone to the world. So you don't know what's happening to you when it happens to you.
How long does it take how long is the procedure? Like once you're knocked
not
out,
long
how
at
long does
all.
it take? No? Okay.
It's not more than maybe an hour. It doesn't take much more than that.
An
All
hour?
soup to
I'm
nuts.
seeing genuine fear on your face right now, buddy.
What's that?
I said I'm seeing genuine fear on your face right
There,
now.
there is genuine
I mean,
fear on my
I'm
face. An
saying
hour
from
with a
soup
thing
to
up your
nuts.
ass?
Listen,
no.
I'm
I'm
sure
saying
there's
from-
some people that
from
could
basically
find
check-in
excitement in
to-
that.
Wait, hold on, Cole. Wait, so, go ahead, Mike.
From check-in to basically when you wake up, essentially checking at the doctor's office to when you wake up, not more than an hour, man.
Oh,
it's
so,
a
okay.
really-
So the procedure
it's a very-
itself.
Gene Hutchinson says 20 minutes.
20 minutes. Thank you, Gene.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's not long at all. Yeah.
But and you're
It's
out,
a
so like
routine procedure.
But yeah, right, and so you're out. So like by the time you wake up, you're like, oh, I just fell asleep, and they're like, yeah, that was 20 minutes ago, right? Is that basically how it is?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
So you're not semi-conscious,
Well,
Ronnie? Ronnie,
I personally volunteer to come pick you up when you have this procedure because when you're like coming
Make a
out
video,
of it,
yeah.
that's yeah.
Yeah.
There's potential gold there.
there is. Have you
Yes.
seen the videos of
Yes.
colonoscopy farts?
Oh no! I just meant like when you're coming out of like even after you use
Yeah.
like wisdom
She
teeth
already
and stuff.
said yes.
You know when
she
you
saw it.
no, I did. No, when you're coming out of anesthesia,
Oh, yeah.
you say and do some crazy stuff. Some people.
Yes.
So I'll
Oh,
be there for you, Matt.
God
Don't worry.
almighty.
I will take
Well, we're
work
not
off
live
of that.
streaming it because God knows what'll come out of my mouth. But
You might not be live streaming it. You'll be in a stupor.
if you enjoy doing this, you won't live stream it because we'll never be able to do it again. I think that yeah, that's fine. But there's videos that you see on Instagram where I guess after Mike, tell me after the colonoscopy, do you have to get a lot of air out?
Oh yeah.
He sounded like the Kool-Aid man.
Sounds like a trumpet, man. I'm confident, man. Dude.
Oh my God, Kool-Aid man.
But you're all happy it's done, so you got like a spring in your step and you're walking around just tooting like a trumpet.
breaking
Exactly.
ear-shaped hole through walls and
Well,
stuff.
we-
Jet propelled.
Exactly. Okay. so shooting like a trumpet while being high. So that's basically what's happening right now. This
Oh,
is
God.
great.
Oh my God.
It's going well.
Those ones that like scratches an itch that you haven't been able to get for years. You know.
Wait, is it a what?
Is it like that one of those deep air farts that kind of scratches an itch you haven't got for years?
For that deep hemorrhoidal itch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It's like a Tux medicated pad from within.
And Beth Wheeler says Beth Wheeler says you become a natural gas vehicle.
Oh, so Mike, who gave you a ride? Who picked you up? Why don't you call me?
Oh, just something I know from Chambersburg.
All right.
Yeah, they were in here.
A lady?
Yeah.
Is it a lady
No,
friend?
That's what I thought immediately.
No.
Hey,
No,
I know
no,
we've
no.
only been dating for 3 weeks, but can you come and pick me up while I have colonoscopy farts?
It'll make you close. You can get through that. You can get through anything.
Real bonding experience. Go ahead, Mike.
It was a friend from when I was working at Chick-fil-A. They were made available, and they said I could do that for you. So
That was nice of them.
they brought me home.
You-
Well, now I would say this is one thing. Make sure you do have a ride to bring up because, man,
It's gonna
I
be-
had to get home and I had to sleep.
Yeah, it's going to be
Because,
Veronica.
man, I was out of it.
She's going to...
I was out of it.
Veronica gets the honors of...
We'll come pick you up in my truck.
Oh, there you go.
I'll drive.
We're gonna
She
do a
can film
group
solely.
tour of this stuff.
Solely film. I'll drive us.
Slowly film.
No, just solely film.
Oh, solely.
Solely focused
Her
on
job is to
filming.
film.
So she doesn't have to worry about the road, and you'll hear me laughing the entire time in the background.
Bitch. You goddamn son of a bitch.
Oh man.
Oh, man. Well, that's good, Mike. I'm glad. So you have to wait for the results, you said, right?
Yeah.
Tom.
How long do you have to
Yeah.
wait for the results?
Well, hopefully the longer the better, because if they call me almost tomorrow, that means something really bad is happening.
Is that true?
I need to get something fixed. Oh, yeah.
So then, wait,
if they know something-
hold on. If they have the results
Yeah.
to call you tomorrow,
They could just as easily tell you good news.
Right. Like,
yeah.
what,
why is it only the bad news?
Like, what is, if it's good news, they're going to be like, okay, well, we got it at 48 hours later, but let's wait a week before we tell them. No, right? I mean,
No. Well, what I'm trying to say here is, say, for example, it's like time sensitive, that we need to get you back in here for surgery as quickly as possible.
Oh, God.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
They'll call you then quickly. Right.
Right.
Other than that, I wouldn't say they take your time, but they've got a backlog. They need to work through it.
So you mean to say they're just going to make you sweat it out? It's either bad news or you get to sweat it out.
So
for a few days.
I have rare audio of Mike coming out of the doctor's office, walking down the hall to leave. Let's see. All right, it wasn't as funny as I thought it would be. I don't have.
Yeah, there's a buzzer. You're supposed to be a trumpet.
Well,
Come on, man.
all I have is a trombone. All I have is a trombone.
Everybody's rusty.
You know.
It's all right.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
All I have is a rusty trombone. All right, this is getting too much. Hey, listen, Mikey, I'm glad that at least so far everything is okay. That is scary stuff, for sure. And I'm glad you got to go before me so that I know what to expect. And, I haven't made my appointment yet. Technically, she's like, well, you're going to be 45 this year. And I go, yes, but I'm not 45 yet. So let's wait until I turn 45. We'll do it over the summer.
Bro, you're going to be fine. You're going to be fine.
Wait, have you had one?
No, but
actually, all joking aside, I thought they lowered. I thought it used to be like 45, but I thought they lowered it because more people our age are actually dying of colon cancer because of like processed meats and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I thought they actually knocked that down to like 40.
So I asked her about that. I said, I hear the people are getting it younger.
Yeah.
And she goes, it's actually that the technology is better, that we're detecting it sooner.
Which is good.
Listen, cameras are smaller nowadays, too. So as far as that goes, you're probably in the best era ever for colonoscopy.
Yeah, back in the old days, they used to get one of those VHS camcorders that used to go on your shoulder. Yeah, and you put the whole cassette in it.
Imagine getting that, dude. You'd be having...
No wonder they put you out.
Yeah, now you can just...
I bet you got rid of those farts real quick, though.
They have to use a horse speculum. It was awful back in those days. But now it's just this little tube, right, Mike? Did they show you what it was beforehand?
Showed it to him before they used it on him?
Well, I mean, yeah.
That seems maniacal.
No, I mean, just to let you know, it's not a big deal.
Look at this. Getting ready to use this on you, buddy.
You didn't
I didn't ask them to, nor did I care. I was going to be out, so I didn't care. Like, whatever, man. Do what you got to do.
No, God! No, God, please, no! No! No!
That's what I believe. Like, well, so I mean, because that's probably a good idea. Because I remember one time I had to get my wisdom teeth extracted, the top ones. It was in my late 20s, and the dentist is like, okay, so here, and I don't know why he did this. I did not ask him to, but he's like, all right, so here's how it goes. We're going to take this instrument, and he shows me the instrument, which is basically like, imagine the handle, what they use for the scraper, right? Except instead of the scraper, there's a metal, like, wire loop on it. And he goes, we're just going to take this, put it up under the gum, in between the root and the gum, and just separate it. And I just stopped him, and I said, put me out.
Yeah, right.
And he's like, okay, we'll put you out. Because you know what? And then he probably does that so we could charge more for the...
That was an option, yeah. I remember I paid more because I was like, there's no way I want to be awake for this. I can barely stand like a filling when I was like,
exactly.
Here's my extra $300 or whatever, knock me out, yeah.
I will pay it off the rest of my life if it'll spare me. I mean, because this is the thing. Now that you've told me how it works and what you're using, I don't care if I'm numb. I know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Like I like that Dr. Pimple Popper. Do you ever watch her?
I know what you're talking about, yeah.
All right, so I watch it all the time. I had a cyst on my leg above my knee. And
I've been pop it?
No, it was a solid...
You didn't cut it open and try to get in there?
Well, I was tempted to. I'm one of these idiots that doesn't have a problem performing surgery on himself. Minor surgery.
Right. Like for ingrown hair or something? I do that all the time.
Exactly, right.
I do that all the time.
Exactly. Anyway, this thing I was not going to mess with. And so, and I carried it around for the longest time. It was up above my knee. Didn't hurt, didn't bother me. It was just this little bump. It was like the size of a dime, maybe. So finally, I say to my doctor, can I get this thing removed? It's just getting on my nerves, So she sets me up with a surgeon. I go into the surgeon. I'm all excited because it's Dr. Pimple Popper. It's not actually her, but it's like, I've seen this, And I'm kind of like, I have no medical background, but I'm kind of nerdy about medical stuff. I think it's kind of cool in a sick, twisted way. I'm fascinated at how they come up with, just how we are where we are with medical science, right? And so so he's like, okay, if you don't want to look, we can lay you down flat, or if you want to look, and so he had me sitting up, somewhat. It had the back up, and then I had my leg out, and he goes to. As soon as he made the cut, I said, "We put this thing back. I don't want to see it. Forget it."
No.
And that sucks because and here's the thing: it was numb.
Yeah, no, I don't.
But I knew every step of the way what he was doing, and I imagined I could feel it.
Yeah.
And so,
Oh.
yeah, you have to put me out. So forget it for the colonoscopy. Hit me on the head with the sledgehammer.
That's what I'm saying. You're gonna be out, man.
I don't think anybody. I don't think that's an optional one.
Yeah.
Honestly,
I don't think so.
It'll probably be enjoyable because of the comedy you get out of it.
I just hope that the nurses aren't attractive. That's all I hope.
And they see you at your most vulnerable.
Yeah. While I'm asleep, and I'm gonna leave the phone recording in case just to hear, because then I could sue them.
Oh, if they make fun of you.
Yeah. Like, here I am with my ass in the air. Do they have you get on your knees, like with your ass in the air, Mike? How does that work? Or are you laying flat, or like what's?
Oh my God, man.
Well, I don't know. I've never had.
They'll ask you that, man.
Oh, they do, don't they?
Just go with it. Just roll with it, man. Just roll with it. You'll be fine.
That's what they said in prison. I think that I don't want to do this now.
I can see the panic just all over you right now.
Yeah, I'm not.
You're about to turn into the Kool-Aid Man yourself.
I'm not, oh yeah. I'm not digging this. I'm not digging this. This is not going to be fun.
Me love you long, Tim.
Oh man.
Well, anyway, Mike, I'm glad you're better. Thank you for the update on what a colonoscopy is, and
also about the prep.
Yeah, the prepping part. Any comments about colonoscopies that maybe might comfort me, or is it just going to frighten me? Anybody have anything interesting to say? Colby, Veronica, either one of you? Okay, no.
It'll only be an hour, buddy.
It'll only be an hour. Yeah, okay. All right, whatever. That's that there. Mike, thank you very much for the call. It is good to hear from you. We'll talk to you later, okay? You going to meet us for dinner, or is your ass hurting?
Bye.
He said he can't drive for 24
Oh, he can't drive for 24 hours?
I can't drive for 24 hours.
Mike, I listen to you.
Yeah.
Matt doesn't listen.
What if
You
we
know
got
this.
you, what if we
I
got
would.
you one of those little donut seats, like the inflatable donut things you could sit on for him?
But wait a second.
It's
wait,
for
wait,
the
wait.
anesthesia. What are you guys
It's from the
talking
anesthesia.
about?
Okay.
Oh my God, you two.
24 hours? So wait, but why 24 hours?
And he couldn't sit in the driver's seat.
Oh my God.
Why 24 hours, though, Mike?
I say 24 hours so I don't get myself in trouble. You know me. If they say for the rest of the day, I give myself 24 hours.
Oh my God.
So is it because you don't want to get pulled over and but they're not going to be able to tell. I don't understand. Why does the anesthesia not get out of your system, or like why 24 hours?
It has to work its way through your system. It has to work its way through your system.
So do you feel kind of dopey still?
Yep.
Nice.
I'm feeling pretty good right now.
Nice.
Good
nice.
For you, buddy.
Yeah. Good for you.
Enjoy it. It won't last forever.
No, right. So what did they give you?
I don't know. I'm not a doctor.
They didn't tell you?
Talk to Fran.
Nice.
So I didn't tell you, because when I got those wisdom teeth, they're like, all right, we're going to give you Valium and morphine. And I was like, yeah, baby.
Wow. Morphine, that's big.
Oh, my Lord. Hey, listen, and I'll tell you something. When I was coming down from that high, I was like, okay, I get it. Like, I get why people get hooked on this stuff, because I'd never felt so good in my life. My back pain went away. I literally felt like I could fly outside my window. I felt so light. Thank God my friend was there, and she goes, sit down, get away from the window. Yeah, no, it was, so I could hear that. All right, Mike, well, listen, again, thank you very much for the call.
Saturday.
We'll see you Saturday. That's absolutely right. And, well, that's about it.
See you, Mike.
Have a good one. Take care of yourself.
Have a good night.
All right, don't drive. Okay. All right, so Swayze Phillips is here. Swayze Phillips, some of you may know him as Ken Phillips. He comes every once in a while, but we call him Swayze because we want him to kind of toughen his image a little bit, you know.
I thought because he was a good dancer.
Also because he's a good dancer. Yeah, that's true. How you doing, Swayze? Anything new with you?
Not much.
No?
Eat, sleep, work.
You can stand up to this one here. You don't need to go put that on.
Not much, still working.
Well, you could pull the microphone to your mouth. I mean, what the hell? Oh my God, he's breaking everything.
Well,
I set it up just to screw with you.
Normally you don't let me talk, so it's usually a good thing.
So what's going on?
Not much, working back at home. Unfortunately, having to go back home soon, so that's a bummer, because every time I come out here, it just gets harder and harder to go back home.
Yeah.
You've been out for a little while, though, right?
Yeah, I got out Thursday.
Okay.
Last Thursday, I got in town. Went down to Frederick one day, went horseback riding a few days, went to the Seminary Ridge Museum again. That's always I always enjoy going through that museum.
Sorry, I was using the wrong microphone there. Yeah, the which one? Seminary Ridge?
Seminary Ridge,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's a nice one. They're all nice. We have a lot of good museums here.
I stopped in Ron Paul Museum.
Ron Palm.
Excuse me.
Ron Paul is a politician.
I never made it in the museum because I started talking with him, and like almost 2 hours later, it's like, oh yeah, it's time to close. Yeah, I probably should let you go. I'll come back because I want to go through the museum. So
He's got a lot of cool pictures in there.
yeah, from what I could see, it looked pretty cool.
Yeah, and he's got tons of them.
It goes way back.
Yeah.
It's deceiving. It goes the whole way.
And he's got more that aren't even on display. Like, that's just the tip of the iceberg. He's got so many. Yeah, all right, so good. So, and you're here till when?
Unfortunately, I'm going down to Middleton. Well, not unfortunately, but I'm going to Middletown, Virginia tomorrow morning or tomorrow afternoon, leaving. And Saturday, I'm doing the Cedar Creek Battlefield Foundation is having a volunteer day. Where we're doing trail maintenance, trimming trees, just kind of whatever stuff they need to do. It's part of the American Battlefield Trust Park Day.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and so you're going to do that after the tour on Saturday morning.
Unfortunately, no. I know. Like I told you, Easter messed me up this year.
Ain't nobody got time for that. Don't blame Jesus.
It was early.
What
This
was
is
early?
deceiving because this is already the third Saturday, and it's only the 15th. That seems like
It's the second week with the third Saturday
Yeah,
because the first was a Saturday.
Yeah, right.
And that throws it all off.
Yeah, normally the park cleanup is always the second weekend, the second Saturday.
Right.
But like I said, this got messed up, and I already committed to doing it before then. I knew that it was the third weekend. So
Yeah. All right. Good. Well. All right. Well, I'll just remember that when it comes Christmas
Matt's done
time.
talking to you.
Yeah.
You can be seated now.
I'm over it.
Well, I am coming
Be
back
gone,
in September
sir. Be gone.
specifically for the tour.
What?
I am coming back in September specifically for.
Well, we might be nuked by September. I'm talking about now. All we got is today.
I know.
Good God in heaven.
I'm gonna try to get back sooner.
What?
So I'm gonna try to get back sooner. September is just gonna be way too long.
All right, we'll be right back with Ronnie's news and all that other stuff. Thank you, Swayze Phillips. We'll talk to you in a bit.
Want to promote your Gettysburg business? Send an email to sales@addressinggettysburg.com.
Seminary Ridge Museum and Education Center, Gettysburg's premier museum, is housed in the historic Lutheran Seminary building constructed in 1832, a witness to the first day of battle. The museum's 3 floors of exhibits connect visitors to the dilemmas that led to the Civil War, provide a powerful and personal view of the battle's first day, and explore one of the battlefield's largest hospitals. No visit to Seminary Ridge Museum and Education Center is complete without a guided tour of the building's famous cupola, where on the eve of battle, officers and civilians saw thousands of Confederate soldiers' campfires burning to the west, and Brigadier General John Buford watched for vital federal reinforcements as fighting erupted on the morning of July 1st. Today, you can stand where Buford stood and discover how this view helped chart the course of the Battle of Gettysburg. Your trip to Gettysburg is not complete without a serious visit to Seminary Ridge Museum and Education Center, Gettysburg's premier museum. Purchase tickets online at seminaryridgemuseum.org or call 717-339-1300.
To get tickets or a cupola tour, listeners may call or walk in and mention addressing Gettysburg, or by ordering online using the promo code AG1863 for 20% off.
Seminary Ridge Museum and Education Center. It began here.
There's a devil to pay.
If you're a lover of history, then go to trhistorical.com. There you'll find apparel, drinkware, decor, and more featuring a wide range of interests from the ancient world to the Cold War. Looking to make an impression with the perfect gift? Well, TR Historical now offers gift cards and a vintage wrapping service for a truly unique presentation. And our listeners will receive 10% off plus free shipping in the U.S. when you use promo code GBERG1863. So go to trhistorical.com, TR Historical, for the love of history.
Think outside the bus and let family-owned Gettysburg Tours take you on a cycling journey across the picturesque and historic Gettysburg battlefield. There's no better way than by bicycle to gain a feel for the terrain of the battlefield. Slow enough to see it all, yet fast enough to do it all. Follow the route of Union troops entering the fray as you ride to the site of the first shots of this epic 3-day battle. Feel the drama as you put yourself in the position of a Confederate soldier just before he steps off to make Pickett's charge. Take a stand with the heroic Colonel Chamberlain on the slopes of Little Round Top just before you view the fields of honor beneath you from its summit. All of our guides are officially licensed by the National Park Service. So don't get a sore neck trying to see out of your car and saddle up with Gettysburg Tours for a 360-degree view of America's most important piece of real estate. Gettysburg Tours. Think outside the bus. Go to gettysburg.com or call 717-752-7752 to book a battlefield experience you will never forget.
You've heard us promote various ways that you can help us keep the show going, but one way we haven't pushed too much is our sutlery at addressinggettysburg.com/shop. That's a shame because we have designs over there by talented artists like Ty DeWitt of 1863 Designs and Mike Stretch of the Heritage Depot. So now we're promoting it. Buying shirts, hoodies, mugs, and other items from our sutlery not only helps us keep the lights on, but it also helps guys like Ty and Mike, and it helps spread the word about the show every time you wear an item or you sip from your mug. So head over to addressinggettysburg.com/shop and grab some merch. It's the perfect Christmas gift for the Gettys nerd in your family. That's addressinggettysburg.com/shop.
Have you noticed our revamped website at addressinggettysburg.com? Well, that's the fine work of a man named Mike Stretch, and he also redid our logo for us. Both of them I originally designed, and both of them were originally horrible, but now they're nice, and that's all thanks to Mike. Mike has an awesome t-shirt company called Heritage Depot. There you'll find great designs based on Gettysburg and the Civil War with t-shirts and other types of merchandise. So go to heritage-depot.com and spruce up your Gettys Nerd wardrobe. That's heritage-depot.com. Our favorite bookstore in Gettysburg is For the Historian, located at 42 York Street. It's because they have the best selection of Civil War books in Gettysburg, both new and used. And online, they have even more to choose from. And if the Civil War isn't your thing, that's not a problem. This is For the Historian, after all. They cover history from the ancient world to the 21st century with a strong selection of World War II and American Revolution books. It's astounding how many thousands of titles from Osprey, Savas Beatty, UNC Press, and more they have in their store. And that's because, well, they have a warehouse too. And that's where they keep all the books that are available online at forthehistorian.com. And folks, if you go to forthehistorian.com now and order books until you're blue in the face, be sure you mention that you heard about them on Addressing Gettysburg in the Note to Seller box, and they will refund your shipping costs. And if you prefer to stop by when you're in town, well, you could do that too. Just mention Addressing Gettysburg at checkout, and they'll take 20% off the retail price of your item. So go to forthehistorian.com, or stop by 42 York Street, or you can call them at 717-685-5207. That's forthehistorian.com or 717-685-5207.
You're listening to Addressing Gettysburg.
Over 1 million total downloads and counting. You're back with AG Today.
All right, we are back with over 1 million total downloads and counting. Now we have 1,000,001. It's been a great year. No, it actually has been a great year. I think in the first quarter, I think we were like 250,000, which if we were to, so that means we would get another million this year if we continue on that.
Yeah.
Is that right? I don't know.
Just podcast episodes, like strictly podcasts.
Yeah, not AG. I don't count AG Today. Although no, well, yes, right. I don't count AG Today. But it does include YouTube, but only the history shows.
Yeah.
And you know, all the other stuff. But yeah. So.
Well, I mean, obviously we would have like 3 million if you counted AG today. But
That's true. That's very true.
Four people in the audience.
Well, you know, a lot of people said after the March 18th show, they came up to me and they're like, you know, good job, but you really are nothing without Veronica in this setting.
Yeah.
And I said, I know, I could feel it the whole time, you know. And Eric, you know, Eric was there for a couple segments. He sat in. That was nice to have Eric back. And by the way, this segment is brought to you by Von Dedham & Co., makers of fine leather goods. I can't say enough about Von. You know what I just got? Swayze, would you do me a favor? Run to my passenger door. On the seat, there's a little notebook. Just run, Swayze. Run! God damn it. Thank you. Don't really run. He fell. Oh, God. Oh, God. Are you bleeding? No? All right. You see it? There it is. Okay, so he's coming back in. I want to show you this because Eric put a picture on his Instagram of this, and I commented below, place my order now. So I thought it was just going to be the leather cover, and then it's on me to find the notebook, right? Look at this beautiful thing.
You don't read either. It was in the description. It said it comes with...
Why would I read a description? There's a picture.
Oh, my God. You don't listen. You don't read. Sweet holy Moses.
And it comes with a little notebook.
Whoa.
So it's wonderful. It smells great. And there's a, look in here. Look, there's a pocket if you want to put some stuff in there, you know. Smell it.
I have the one that's a little bit bigger. I actually take it to all like the meetings and stuff and use it. See, this leather's a little bit softer than the one I have.
Well, it's been sitting in the sun for 3 days.
That's a good point.
I'm trying to season it, you know, so I leave it in the car. But it's, smell that.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that smell. You know what that is?
What it is? Well.
Tread carefully.
Yeah. It was on your seat, right?
From
It
Lentz's
could be any number of
colonoscopy.
things.
I was gonna say.
It's fish oil. Fish oil and something else. I think tallow, he said. I don't know. I love the smell of it. I don't care what the hell it is. It smells wonderful. Anyway, Von Dedham & Co. It's Von Dedham & Co. at gmail.com. VONDETTUMANDCO at gmail.com. I don't have the copy in front of me, so I'm going off of memory there. What? Oh, and let me tell you something else before we get to Ronnie's News, everybody's favorite segment of the day. First, Get Out of the Car tour, of course, is this Saturday. Swayze won't be there. Veronica won't be there. Great group of friends we have. But we have about, what's 15 plus 8? 23. We have about 23 young Marines coming, and they will be the color guard. And I told their leader, I said, I want them marching in formation the whole time. Hopefully everybody will follow suit, and will be an impressive sight. So
Where are the Marines coming from?
Marineland? I don't know.
Do you know what base they're coming from? Are they coming off of Quantico?
How do I know this? Young Marines are at Quantico? I think it's like a high school thing, isn't it? I don't know.
Young Marines? You mean like ROTC?
Well, but no, they're called the Young Marines. Like that's what he referred to them as. I don't know what it is. We'll find out. Do you know?
Are they actual Marines?
I don't know what the hell they are. They're either Marines in training, or I don't know. Google Young Marines. No, don't, because God knows what'll come up. Yeah.
Careful.
No, it actually is youngmarines.org. The Young Marines is a national youth program for boys and girls aged 8 through high school.
8 through high school.
Gotcha.
So there you go.
Leadership, citizenship, etc.
So they teach them how to not be little a-holes, right? Basically, they give them something to some structure.
So no offense, but when you said Young Marines at first, I was like, wait a minute, maybe I won't go to Pittsburgh this weekend. But now when I'm like, okay, it's Young Marines org, like, okay, it's young kids. So I'm like, I'm still going to Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I have to stick around.
That was
see what the Corps is working with now.
I'm glad you got to the bottom of that for me, Colby.
Listen, I got all excited too. I was going to be like, man, I'm going to go out there and tell some war stories.
There you go.
Right?
Well, you still can. You know.
It won't be the same.
No,
it won't be the same.
They'll quit is what they'll do.
They'll be like, I don't want to be anything like this Joker. Get him away.
But where are you going to be?
In Pittsburgh.
Doing?
With our buddies, Rich Condon, Pete Mealy, Dana Schoaf.
Are you and
Dan
Pete
Welch,
carpooling?
John Eric. No. Going out by myself. I'm going to go right after work. I have 2 court cases tomorrow. One's a trial, so I don't know when I'll get on the road. But
So it's the Captain SP Post and the SP. Excuse me, I always screw that up.
In the Carnegie
Library.
Yeah, in Carnegie.
Wait,
in Carnegie
Library again?
Carnegie Library. This is how they speak in Pittsburgh. Yes, it is.
It is. We don't say library.
No, but anyway, so you guys are going out for that. There's a big symposium out there. I tried to get him to change the date because it coincided, but he said no.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. He's going to record it.
Nice.
And I said, you record it all. I will put it on our free feed for everybody to listen to. Hopefully that will be a good promotion for the post. And hopefully it will be enlightening for our listeners as well. Yeah. So that will be out. As soon as he gets it to me, I'll put it out the following Monday. That is that. And then, here's the big thing. Should I say it during your news segment when you're done?
Yeah, no.
Okay. All right. So April 21st, mark your calendars. 10:30 in the morning, thereabouts. Myself, Steve Sims, Dave Malgi, who is sponsoring this, we're going to be on Little Round Top, and we're going to show you the progress that they have made thus far. And Steve is going to give us a tour, a little walkabout, if you will. We're going to ask him questions. It's going to be a live stream. We just went up there on Tuesday, and we brought community media up to test the signal because, cell phone signal down in that area is sketchy. And really, there was only one spot where we dropped a lot of frames, so we think that we'll be in pretty good shape. We will back up record it anyway in case there's too much of a problem, and then I'll upload that at a later time. But we will take questions. So remember when Steve Sims came on in the fall and we had people call in with questions? Well, obviously we're not going to be in here to do it, so we're going to take questions in the comments section. So if you have any questions, you can ask them then as they come up. I'll go through. I'm not going to be able to see all of them. There might be some that I will have already asked, or, I will get to the questions when I've run out of questions. So there might be,
Is anything fair game, or is it just questions about Little Round Top?
No, anything. So what happened was he was going to come on in March to do another one like he did in October. And then, of course, we had the electricity issue. So Dave messaged him and said, hey, we have no electricity. We need to reschedule. And Sim said, okay, would Matt prefer to do a video from Little Round Top? It's like, yeah. So that's what we're going to do. So we did a little walkthrough. He showed us, everything that's going on so that we kind of have a mental picture of what we're going to talk about and everything like that. Patrons, I will put out a post about this so you can send questions ahead of time. I will incorporate those into the questions I will ask him myself. So if you want to be able to do that, now, there's no guarantee that those questions will get in there because I already have a list of questions, and I'm sure there's going to be... First of all, I have beaver questions. So if you got beaver questions, unless they're more than basic questions, if it's a very specific beaver question, okay, send it in. But for the most part...
Did you read this comment?
No.
Jim Minshaw says, Matt, are you bare-chested under that shirt? How hot is it in that shed?
It's awful.
It's hot.
I love that. I had just pointed that out to him before we came back.
That's
that it
true.
looked like he's going full Miami Vice right now.
Well, that's what I was going for. It's one of those days. This is a lightweight, what do they call this? What is this, linen? Feel it.
Yeah.
Can you feel it?
I can see it.
You can see it's linen?
Yeah.
It's like a linen shirt. And then this is one of those breathable wicking.
Skin.
This is my skin. Look how far I can pull it out. I'm getting old. No, it's not. I'm not topless underneath here. Anyway, that's what we're going to do on April 21st, 10:30 in the morning. So make sure that you get your questions in. If you're a patron, wait for me to do the thing and
YouTube,
respond.
Right?
It will be on YouTube. Okay. And of course, if you missed the live stream, that's okay. It will archive as soon as it's done, and you'll be able to watch it later at your leisure.
You doing news or events first?
We caught you dancing.
So take notes. There's a test at the end. Here's AG Today's lead anchor, Veronica Brestensky, with news, traffic, weather, sidewalk conditions, and what's happening this weekend.
I must have all possible information.
Carry that, no, he can't read my poker face. She's got me like nobody.
Hello, Dolly. Hello, Dolly.
Oh, that's Charlie.
That's Charlie Fennell.
That is Charlie. I remember that. I was like, wait a minute. I love Charlie.
All right. We just did. There's a couple.
You released it.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, yeah. I can't remember anymore. All right, Ronnie, what's in the news? It's been so long since we've had a new... Nobody knows what's been going on for 2 months because we don't have you to tell us.
That's right. So everybody's just been sitting in their houses.
Damn straight.
So anyway, this is kind of news, kind of an event, but the Adams County Historical Society's grand opening weekend is upon us.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's
exciting
news and an
stuff.
event.
Yeah, it's both. So congratulations to Andrew Dalton, Tim Smith, the board over there, and good luck.
By the way, on that note, tomorrow, check out our YouTube channel because they invited me to do Media Day. Yep. Tomorrow's Media Day. So between 1 and 3, community media will be going around with me. We're going to do like man on the street, going around. It's like, say, what do you think about the museum? And, that type of stuff.
Who are you going to interview?
It's Media Day.
But I mean, who? So just like Andrew and Tim and those guys?
Yeah.
Well, what do you think they're going to say about it? What do you think of the museum?
No, there's going to be other people there.
Oh, okay.
Aren't there?
I mean, other media. Right.
Yeah, what the hell are we doing?
Interview. I mean, no.
I don't know. Wait, I don't even know. Wait, now I'm confused.
No,
I think you're right.
No, when I was there with you, with Andrew, he mentioned that I think like Jeff Sharp, like some of the people, Stu Boardman, maybe, like people might be available that had a hand in making it, so you'll be able to interview those people. I think that was the
right.
gist
But for some reason, and this is all my stupid brain, I had it in my head that there will be people there.
No, I don't think so.
But that's the next day.
Yeah.
Yes. And by the way,
So
those
close.
of you say, "Oh, your tour is coinciding with the," it's not. Theirs is going all day. Ours is 2 hours. You can
It's
join
all
us and then
weekend,
go to
actually.
them.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's true. All
And-
weekend.
And in fairness, I think I saw that Saturday's tickets are sold out. They are all spoken for. I'm almost positive. I think there are still some available for Sunday if you want to go check out the new museum. But I think I saw that Saturday's sold out anyway. So just stay in town a little bit longer and go check it out on Sunday.
There you go.
There you
Very
go.
good.
Yeah, but
All
again,
right.
congratulations to those guys. I know
Absolutely.
I can't imagine how excited they are and everything. So that's,
Listen, and I said this on the show on the 18th to Andrew.
Get
that
to be goddamn.
Oh, no, I didn't say that. I'm sorry. That was my hand hit the thing.
Gotta love the Duke, man.
He should be proud of himself, and I think really the whole community should be proud of Andrew because he did a fantastic job. Of course, he had help, but he's the head of the.
yeah.
If the thing sucked, he'd be getting the blame.
Sure.
So we got to give him the credit too.
Absolutely.
He did a fantastic job with that place. They all did a fantastic job with that place. There's thought that went into it. I really love it. The view of Channing's Knoll. Is especially like as sunset is coming and the sun is skimming across the land. It's beauteous. It's really a great place. On your trip here this year, you have to go and see it.
So this is kind of piggybacking on the news. I don't know if you saw it in the paper, but Tim Smith of the Adams County Historical Society, friend of the show, etc., was recently honored by the 3 commissioners for Adams County as the official Adams County historian.
How about
That's
that?
amazing.
Amazing. Yes, good for Tim.
Yeah, there was a
Very good, Tim.
proclamation, and that's another title he can add to
give
his
him
resume.
Dan Butterfield too. He gets it all. Applause and Dan Butterfield. Does it smell like dog shit in here?
It does smell like poo.
Swayze, did you step in some when you went out to my car?
You made me run, so it's possible.
You had the runs?
No, you made me run.
Oh, I made you run.
Maybe he said both.
It's not the Von Dedeman Co. notebook cover.
Something does smell a little bit like.
Who's got the colonoscopy farts, dude?
Those don't
No,
smell.
it actually smells like somebody stepped in something.
It smells like somebody stepped in
all of a
dog
sudden-
poop.
All of a sudden, it just. Unless somebody's walking their dog and they just.
But that's a.
Or maybe they had an overflow in the bathrooms.
Oh no, no, that would smell worse. It did, but it's not me, right?
No, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it is me.
Maybe it's your
No,
I mean, it's
not me.
passing. I don't smell it now.
No, I smell it.
I don't smell it now.
Well, there's a big dog turd somewhere around here. All right.
Anyway.
Anyway.
In other news.
Yes.
So Dunlap's restaurant. I don't know how many people frequent that from our show, but I know we go quite often.
Yes.
So the news is that Ruth and Barry Dunlap, since 1999, have owned Dunlap's restaurant, and they are retiring. They're
Good for them.
retiring, selling the business to Pete Monahan, who actually is the owner of the Federal Point Inn right next door. They're moving down to Texas, I think it said, the article said, but Pete is taking over the restaurant. It's going to have a new name. It's going to be called General Buford's Kitchen, which is kind of cool for its first day. You know, like
Buford
that's
Avenue.
pretty neat.
Yeah.
Basically, the article said that the sale is scheduled for May 1st. I think I saw somewhere on a roadside marker that towards the end of May, there's the actual opening, I guess, is going to happen for the kitchen. I think the concept is it's going to be pretty much the same breakfast and lunch, but in the evening they're going to do more of like an upscale steakhouse kind of menu.
Ooh.
So that's going to be kind of interesting to see how that.
You know, somebody texted me the other day, my friend Debbie, and she's like, "Where can I get a good steak around here?" And I was like, "That's a great." That's what I said. Is the Dobbin House filet mignon is really good. I haven't had their steak, but I love everything else there. So yeah. Huh. Okay. So that's going to be neat. When does that open?
Well, like I said, the sale, according to the article, is scheduled for May 1st. There is a billboard as you're coming out of like New Oxford that it was just out of the other day. The Clear Blue Mom and I drove past it, and it just said like coming, or it said General Buford's kitchen, like 3.6 miles from here, but it had like no opening date. Now it said something about like May of 2023. So I got the vibe.
So soon.
Yeah, I think. I don't know if he's going to close down at all, or if they're just switching it over and it's just going to roll. I don't know. But he's partnering with a couple people that already have established food connections here. The Lucky Truck food truck that's out. It's normally parked by like the old print shop on York Street. You know what I'm talking about? It's like a black food truck.
By the bridge.
Yeah.
Right before you get out of town.
Yeah, the gentleman that owns that is named Christian Walling, and he, Thomas Kelly, and Pete Monahan are going into like a partnership in terms of the Buford's Kitchen. So we'll see. It'll be interesting.
Yeah, that will be good.
Yeah, so that's some other news. The other.
By the way, Pete Monahan, for over a year, I've been trying to get him to come on the show, right?
Yeah.
And I dropped the ball because Eric was not here anymore. Actually, it was before he left, but it was when he was starting to kind of get distracted and do other things and everything. And so he wasn't booking me as much. So I took it over. And then, of course, because I've got a million things going on, I can't follow through on anything, right? And so that kind of fiddled away. And then, so finally over this winter, Dave came on. I said, okay, book Pete Monahan for AG today. So we booked him, and the power went out. And so we're like, we got to reschedule. And he rescheduled because I figured it would take 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So like, just reschedule him in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
3 weeks comes, or 2 weeks comes, I go, we're not any closer to having the components yet. So reschedule him again. He did. We didn't have the electricity again. I said, I said, oh my God, we got to do it one more time. And by the hand of God, Pete sent Dave a message, and he goes, Dave, I need to reschedule this week because it was like 4 days away and we still didn't have electricity. And he's like, I need to reschedule this week. Please apologize to Matt. I'm like, apologize to me? I've been like giving you, oh, please. Like, it worked out because Dave was like, I think maybe a call from you would be appropriate at this point. And I said, yeah, you're right. So it all worked out. We're going to have him back on now that we have electricity. He'll be one of the first guests we have on.
Neat.
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah. He's a cool guy.
We'll get it right from the horse's mouth as to what to expect. So
that's right.
Exciting. Yeah,
that's
cool.
right.
Little last piece of news. This is a little bit outdated because we've been away for so long, but the new parking area and driveway at the Whistler House officially opened on March 28th.
Yes.
So pretty cool. If you're not familiar with it, that's the house right next to the first shot marker.
Yeah.
They renovated the house in the last year or two, and now there's an actual pull-off and a parking space there for, I think, up to like 5 cars or something like that, and a little driveway. So no, but it's officially open because there for a while you couldn't even access it.
And it looks very nice.
Yeah.
It looks a lot safer. You can go to the monument without falling down the embankment and killing yourself by getting run over by an 18-wheeler because there's no shoulder there at that point.
Yeah, right.
And there was no guardrail, but now it's a lot safer.
Yeah, it's you don't really see it, but there's a little bit of a knoll right there, right? So like it's
grassy
pretty
one.
bad in terms. No, I'm saying like even the hill, like, or I mean the roadway. Like it's kind of bad. Like people go flying on that road anyway, but a little bit, and then there's the other entrance that goes towards like Land of the Little Ponies. Like everybody's
Land
that little
Land of Little Horses.
Horses that too. Yeah, whatever.
It's right next to the Little Ponies.
Yeah. What was Little Ponies? Wasn't that the TV show or something? Yeah, My Little Pony. There we go. So that's the news. We do have
this weekend where the action is. What's there to do and see when you're in town this weekend? Here's Valerie, Veronica to fill you in.
It's all covered. All right. Well, obviously, the big event is I want to keep saying tomorrow. I'm so used to having a Friday show.
It's not Friday, Ronnie.
It's not Friday. So Saturday, the first Get Out of the Car tour of 2023 is going to focus on Daniel's Brigade.
Yeah.
On July 1st. We are asking everybody to meet at the Peace Light Memorial.
Correct. And you know what? I'm glad you brought that up because the promos are recorded in January. And when Lewis gives me the descriptions of all the tours, he puts the meeting place there. And sometimes, and this has happened before, sometimes he thinks more about it and he goes, you know what? That's not a good place to meet. This is, and then we change it. Yeah. But, the cat's already out of the bag. So I think the rule of thumb is good. For next year when I record them, I'm not going to say a meeting place. I'm going to say refer to the website for the meeting place. Yeah. But right now, the unofficial rule is just always refer to the website for the meeting place. Ignore your confirmation email when you sign up on Fair Harbor, because that confirmation email is a canned message, and it was for a different purpose. So, and that always tells you to meet at the West End Guide Station. Ignore that. Just understand that that's just confirming that we got your registration. But always check the website, addressinggettysburg.com, in the tour section, and you will find the most up-to-date information as to where to meet and all that stuff. Always park where legal. Park where legal.
Yep. Okay. Also this weekend, we already mentioned the Adams County Historical Society, but also this weekend in town is the 24th Annual History Meets the Arts Show and sale. So bring your money. All right. That's going to be hosted at Lord Nelson's Gallery. That's on North Stratton Street. So Friday from 10 to 7, and then Saturday from 10 to 5.
Wait, where's Lord Nelson's on Stratton Street?
It says in the rear. So I think the entrance maybe for the event, they're saying it's in the rear.
In the rear of what?
I don't know. That's what it was announced. 35 North Stratton Street rear.
Sounds like a colonoscopy.
All right. So North Stratton Street in the rear.
Is there a different building back there or something? Because Lord
There's
Nelson's
a lot of
is
buildings
right
on North
Chambersby.
That's what I'm confused about.
The announcement said 35 North Stratton Street in the rear.
Okay, 35.
So anyway, maybe there's some other, maybe it's a bigger space, because they are going to have historical artists and authors, paintings, prints, signings, sculptures, pottery, et cetera, et cetera. So
okay.
While you look that up, there you go. That's something else to do this weekend.
Yep.
What else do we have?
Oh, it's the firehouse.
Oh, see, there we go. Okay.
So yeah, the firehouse has a hall where you can rent it out and do things. So that makes sense, and it's in the rear of the building.
There you go.
So in the rear of got it. All right, good. In the rear
Glad
with the gear.
you clarified that, because I didn't actually take the time to look at the address. So good for you.
Oh,
good on you.
I guess I'm not the only one who doesn't pay attention.
No, I paid attention. I wrote down what it said.
Oh, okay, whatever.
I didn't do the extra work of figuring out where that was, though. Okay, what else do we have? Oh, so this is not this week, but it's coming up very soon. So as you all know, I'm involved with the Gettysburg Civil War Roundtable. So if you are local, or if you can't for some reason join us locally, this will be live streamed. But please try to get here. On the 27th, Thursday the 27th, the Adams County Historical Society will officially become the new home of the Civil War Roundtable in Gettysburg.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's a big deal for our organization. Jim Hessler, licensed battlefield guide, author,
I've heard of him.
Podcaster, is going to be our opening presenter. He's going to speak on Custer from Gettysburg to Little Bighorn.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's free. We obviously would love if you join.
When?
This is April 27th,
April 27th.
Thursday.
Okay.
We always have our meetings the fourth Thursday of the month, 7 p.m. at the Adams County Historical Society. And I think membership, and don't quote me, I should have looked this up. Membership is still super reasonable. I think individuals are like $30 or $35 for the year.
I won't pay it.
Nope, you will. I'm going to get you to become a new member. We've already gotten some. And I will, a big shout out to some of our listeners. I did post a notice on my own social media about this not long ago, and it actually drummed up a few members through the roundtable.
See the power of your celebrity, Ronnie?
No, but I think we do have great listeners that enjoy history and preservation, et cetera, et cetera. So
but they weren't joining until you said, hey, you should join.
And I appreciate it.
Yeah.
So
well,
thank you so
go.
very much. Also, just a reminder that Ken Rich's Reluctant Witness Tours, they officially kicked off their 2023 season on April 1st with opening day. But if you're interested in taking a town tour with Ken Rich, we know how to get a hold of him. So get a hold of us, and we can put you in touch. Otherwise, you can just purchase tickets right at the Heritage Center for Ken, or look him up on social media under Reluctant Witnesses Historic Town Tours.
Yeah, there's his cards. Yep. What does he have his old address? Yep, no, Ken at GettysburgTownHistory.com. That's the phone number or the email address.
Oh yeah,
You did.
Yep.
That excited you because this is the third time you've brought it up. I mean,
I feel like he's a little bit of a celebrity.
He's a lot of bit of a celebrity.
And
the man in the red shirt.
It's kind of fun for me because I've actually never met him, one-on-one.
Oh, really?
I know who he is, but he doesn't know who I am.
He doesn't. He knows who you are. He just doesn't care.
It could be that too. But
Just kidding, Colby. Just kidding. Hold on. Taylor, if you're listening at home, don't get in his ear. It was just a joke, and he knows.
I don't know. She might have different opinions on that.
She might agree with me.
But yeah, man, I spot Ken Rich around town. I'm like, oh my gosh, there's the man.
Doesn't matter. I know. I beep the horn every time I go by, and he just
loves
throws
it.
away.
Yeah, absolutely.
He doesn't even
Rightfully
look. He just
so.
waves over his head, you know.
Hey, he earned it, man. He definitely earned it.
It's my island. All right, go ahead, Ronstadt.
So actually, that just kind of pigtails into the fact that, with the opening of Ken Rich's 2023 season, a lot of things are going to start opening and taking shape and everything. So just a reminder in general to keep your eyes open. The Seminary Ridge is going to be announcing. I don't think they've done it yet. I think very soon they're going to be announcing their Sunset Tours for 2023. Those are Friday night. I think once a month they did them, like a free walking tour on the seminary that had something to do with it. So those are going to be coming up back up. The Association of Licensed Battlefield Guides have announced their 2023 Tuesday evening walks. Those will start on June 6th and run through August 28th, and you can go on their website, the Association of Licensed Battlefield Guides. .org, I believe it is, and you can see what the different topics are. But there's some really interesting topics coming up this year that I'm eager to see, and a lot of the people that have been on this show will be presenting. I think Mike Rupert, I think I saw. I think Jason Howman, Ralph Siegel, I believe. There's just you'll recognize a lot of names and presentations. So just start to keep your eyes out because we're starting to get into tourist season here a little bit. It's exciting.
It's starting
with
up.
the weather changing. And then the last thing, just a real quick reminder, the Addressing Gettysburg Book Club did start our third book of the year just yesterday, Wednesday. It's not too late to join, however. So the third book of the year is Culp's Hill and Cemetery.
Sorry, my hand keeps hitting the mouse pad.
Culp's Hill and Cemetery Hill by Fawns. We did start that, but we're only the first section into that book, and next week we're actually having author John Michael Priest, who was our second book of the season. He wrote Stand to It and Give 'Em Hell. He will be on in person to take questions and just talk to the group via Zoom next Wednesday, so the 19th. So, I'm sorry, the 19th. I can't even read my own writing. So if you're interested in coming to see that.
I thought I had the chicken scratch.
Oh, no, I do. I didn't say I didn't. But anyway, if you're... yeah, it's like melting, bleeding on here.
Double vision because of the heat.
Yeah, so if you're interested in joining us, it's not too late. Don't worry about if you can't have enough time to read the segments or anything. It's a really cool group of people that just really enjoy learning.
It is a group. And there's a licensed battlefield guide who's been a part of it all along, right?
Absolutely.
He still is, Tim Pierce.
And actually, I think he's one of the licensed battlefield guides that'll be doing a Tuesday night walk this year, too. I think I'm pretty sure about that.
I believe that's correct, yeah.
But anyway, real quick. So if you're interested in signing up and you haven't, or if you're on the email, just join us. Don't hesitate, even if you haven't read the assignment, so to speak. But it's Addressing Gettysburg Book Club at gmail.com. So Addressing Gettysburg Book Club at gmail.com. Steve Byers runs that organization.
So you're saying then that the book club is not like school, where if you don't do your homework, you get scolded?
No, you don't get kicked out or anything like that.
So you can just attend and listen.
Absolutely.
You don't even need to read the book. You could just listen to people talk.
Correct.
That's what I do. It's the Cliff's Notes version, right?
There's a lot of smart people in that group and a lot of people that have some interesting points of view in terms of, even though I'm reading the books along with these people, they take something a little bit differently than I do, or they clarify something that I was kind of like, what the hell did this author mean? And I don't understand this. You can't ask the book, right? And in some cases like Fonz, you can't ask the author, but that's a really great way of getting to know some people, and a lot of friendships have been struck up through that organization as well, because we see each other's lovely faces every Wednesday. So
you got somebody in Hawaii.
Ollie.
Ollie sends me pictures several times a week of especially only during the winter. He doesn't do this during the summer. I don't think he's busting balls either. I just think he is, but I don't know what he's doing. But he sends me pictures of Hawaii. He lives on Oahu. And he sends me pictures of Diamond Head. And when I was 7, we went to, we stayed there in Waikiki Beach, and Diamond Head was right there. We stayed at the Hilton Hawaiian Village in the Rainbow Tower. I don't even know if that's still there or not. But so he sends me pictures, and I'm like, it's 35 degrees and raining here and gross, and it's already dark.
But Ollie is like the nicest person. I mean, like just such a genuinely nice person.
Very thoughtful guy.
Yeah.
He sends me very long messages on Instagram that clearly have a lot of thought behind them. And we talk about, a lot of things, just the state of the world and how scary it all is and everything. And And I feel bad though because sometimes he gets like I'll get a message from him that's like really long, and I always look at it like when I'm in between something, but I only have a second, and my ADD is like I gotta look at something, and so I look at it, but I don't have time to actually like read the whole thing and respond. And then by the time I do have the time, I'm either vegging out or I forget or something, So Ollie, I apologize to you, but I do appreciate all that.
Absolutely. He's very much like Donnie with Civil War IG. Like they have.
Donnie
really
will be here this weekend.
Awesome, cool.
Yes.
I think one of his sons too, right? But anyway, they have really long, like historical posts, and they're like you said, there's a lot of work that goes into those guys generating that stuff. So
absolutely,
thank you. And he shares that stuff with me too. So
I'm very excited. I'm very excited that Donnie's coming. Cool. I love Donnie.
Neat.
I keep trying to get him to move out here with the family. Or even without the family, just move out here, Donnie. That's all I'm saying. No, bring the family, of course. But he's got a good job out there. He's a hero.
Right.
He's a hero. Right. So how do you walk away?
Hey, we have more crashes out here. It seems like. Oh my God!
Shoot,
There's like cars like overturned every other week.
Yeah, I know, and I don't know if you're in the flight path or not, but like I am.
Oh yeah.
So I hear that helicopter coming in, and it comes in a lot.
Yeah.
And goes out a lot, and and so I mean, there's work for him here, and he's applied, but or he's looked. I don't know if he's applied, but he's looked, and so far there's nothing available. But we'll see. Hopefully, he'll be able to move out here someday. Okay. Well, listen, folks. Where are we going to eat?
Get out of the car tour.
Thank you.
Yes.
Where are we going to eat?
With someplace with food.
Yeah. Anything in particular? Cameron wants to come with us, so we said to let him know.
Nice.
So.
You know what? It is so hot. I'm in the mood for a big salad. Where can we get a big
I'm in the mood
salad?
for chocolate chip mint ice cream. If only we had an ice cream sponsor that we could go to, Yeah. Where can we go for a big salad? Oh, Taverna. They got great air conditioning, or we could sit outside. Yeah. And they got this that wedge salad I like to get, and you've had that, right?
Yeah.
Taverna. What about you, Colby? What do you think?
I mean, Taverna's all right, man. It's out in my neck of the woods.
You join?
Possibly. I gotta hit the old ball and chain and see what the plan is.
She might not let you. She might not let him talk to you anymore.
Yeah, after calling her a ball and chain. Let the record show, Taylor.
You
I
didn't
did
do
not
that,
call
yeah.
you the ball and chain. He did.
He did it off camera.
I did put a script in front of him. All right. Well, we'll figure something out, and we'll text Cameron, and that's that. Okay, everybody, just relax. That's it for us here, ladies and gentlemen. We're back, and it's going to be a fun season. We'll see you all on Saturday. Have a good night, and don't drink too much. Goodbye.
Addressing Gettysburg Today is hosted and produced by Matt Callery and Veronica Brestensky, Esquire. Engineered by Colby Sumner and maybe, sometimes, someone else. Guests of the show stay wherever they want. That's not our concern. To be a guest on the show, send an email to matt@addressinggettysburg.com. Addressing Gettysburg Today broadcasts from the Gettys Bike Tour Studios. To get a 15% discount on your next tour with Gettys Bike, call 717-752-7752. I'm Huevos Grande, the voice of Addressing Gettysburg Today. Thanks for listening.
Am I 26?
There were many Union men who wept with joyful tears when they saw the honored flag they had not seen for years. Hardly could they be restrained from breaking forth in cheers while we were marching through Georgia. Hurrah, hurrah, we bring the Jubilee. Hurrah, hurrah, the flag that makes us free. So we sang the chorus from Atlanta to the sea while we were marching through Georgia. While we were marching through Georgia. While we were marching through Georgia.
This concludes our broadcast.
Home of the